vanishes and then reappears. The 8 splits into 2 fours. The box instantly disappears. And I'm even going to show you how Jimmy Woo does this impossible card production. The magician shows his hand empty and then produces a card. So the magician takes the card, vanishes it, and then makes it reappear. Here's the secret. Hold the card between your first finger, middle finger, and thumb. Practice extending your middle finger and pulling back on the card, and this will cause it to fly into your palm. Now simply do this move under the cover of your other hand, and the card appears to vanish, and then reverse it to produce the card again. The magician takes the box of cards, and it vanishes. Take the box of cards and place them onto your open palm. All that's going to happen is you show them to the spectator, and as you bring your hand back, your other hand is going to go on top. This thumb is then going to go in front of the cards, and it's going to push the cards backwards and onto your lap. So all that happens is your hand comes over, your thumb pushes the cards backwards onto your lap. You pretend then to make the cards vanish. The 8 turns into 2 fours. Here's the secret. This requires you to have an 8 and 2 fours. To begin, you need to know the snap change that I taught you earlier. So just practice doing the snap change with 1 8 and 1 4. Once you've mastered that, add in the second 4, and all that's going to happen is before you do the snap change, you grab the second 4 and bring it forward whilst you do the snap change with the other 2 cards. So check that. So this is how you take the ace of clubs and just shake it and change it to the king of hearts. Here's the secret. This is a very, very simple trick. Simply turn over the top card and then place it back on the deck. Then use your thumb to riffle up the back of the cards until you get a break under the top 2 cards, and then transfer that break to your thumb and middle finger so you're in this position. Now all that's going to happen is your first finger is going to twirl the cards around. So you're just twirling the cards around, but you do that as you shake your hand. So you shake and twirl at the same time, and the big action of shaking hides the small action of twirling the card. Place everything back on the deck, and then you can give the card out to be inspected. This is how you produce a playing card like Jimmy Woo. So this is how you show your hand nice and empty, and then you just pluck a card out of thin air. Here's the secret. Put your hand into a Spider-Man grip like this, and then place the card in between these 2 fingers. Then pull these 2 fingers out and clamp down on the card like this. It now looks as if the card is gone, when in reality it's hidden behind your hand. All you need to do is wave your hand up and down, and then simply bend your fingers in to produce the card, and then grab it for the production. So you just go from here to here, out to be inspected. If you like this video, then you'll love this video here, where I teach Of clubs, and if you want to change the 5, all you've got to do is rub it, and the 5 changes to the 2 of hearts. And if you want to change it back, it's very simple. You just take the 2, give it a little rub, and it changes back into the 5 of clubs. The secret behind this trick is very simple. It relies on an old card switch known as the Erdnase change, and this is how it works. Take 2 different coloured cards, because it makes the change much more visual. So I've got a red card and a black card, and place them on the bottom of the deck, or the top of the deck if the deck's face up. And then what you're going to do is simply come over with your other hand and cover the card with your entire hand. Then open up your first and middle finger so you can see the pip of the card here. So this is just a nice little condenser. You cover the card like this. So the spectators can see that the 5 is still there. And then all you're going to do is move the 5 forward with this part of your hand here. So all you're going to do is cover it up and then slide the 5 forward, and it's going to create this little gap at the bottom of the card here. Now as I'm sliding it forward, I'm also using my first finger to make sure that the rest of the deck doesn't go forward. So I'm not pushing the entire deck, rather my first finger means only the top card is going forward because it's stopping the rest of the deck from sliding forward. Once you've got this little gap here, maybe about half an inch or so, you're going to use your palm to pull this card backwards, and you're going to keep putting it backwards until it clips under this one here, and then you're going to slide everything forward and square everything up. That's really how this works. So you're going to come back, you're going to slide it back, and then forward. So let me just show you what this looks like all together. You have the cards like this. You cover the 5 but show the pip. You push the 5 forward, so you're in this position. You then slide this card all the way back, and you palm it off, so now the card is actually palmed in my hand, and then you just square everything up and put the palmed card on top, and it creates a very, very visual colour change. Next magic trick is even more visual, and it's where you take a playing card and you visually change it just like that. Here's a closer look at the illusion. So for this trick, take 2 cards that are preferably different colours and just place them on top of each other like this. Now this is known as the snap change. And all that's going to happen is you're going to hold these cards between your thumb, middle finger and first finger like this. And you're literally just going to pull back with your middle finger in a snapping motion. That's why it's known as the snap change. And as you do this, your middle finger will pull back the first card and it will put it behind it like this. So it's kind of hard to do this slowly, but essentially you're doing that. And then obviously this card is hidden behind, and all you're going to really be doing, the way in which I recommend you practice this, is just to begin with, really slowly, just practice moving the card back with your middle finger, and just gradually get this faster and faster until you can do it in a snapping motion. Then the last thing you want to do to really sell this illusion is as you snap back, flick the card forward, and it just creates a very visual card change. Another interesting way to do this move is you hold the cards between your fingers, but in this hand it's really loose, and you do the change, and it almost looks even more impossible because it's happened whilst both hands are holding onto the cards. Next up, let's learn how to vanish a card into thin air. The card visually vanishes. So all you need to do is take any playing card and just fold it in half like this, and then fold this bit down in half like that. So you created this zigzag fold in the card. What I've actually done is scored this as well to get really clean folds. So there's a fold here and there's a fold here. Take the bottom fold and cover it with your hand, and then take these 2 fingers and pinch the bottom corner of the card. All that's going to happen is you are going to use your thumb to pull the card down like that, whilst your thumb and first finger move away. From the front view, it looks like this. You move your thumb and pull the card down, whilst you move your hand away, and it looks as if